Hey, Brian, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. You know I'm gonna keep busy until somebody come in. Like I told you before, I don't delete nothing. Once I start, I see what it's gonna be before I end it, but I don't delete anything. How are you doing? It's like I was looking at your backyard or whatever and said, "Oh, that looks so tranquil." It. I don't have much of a backyard because when the addition was put on my house, that chopped off the little bit that I did have. I have some side yard, but to have the backyard that you have, oh my gosh, I would love to live in the country. Not too far from the city, but I would love to live in that type of environment. It looks so peaceful, so peaceful. But you know what? I had some things I wanted to discuss, and it really don't matter how many people is in the live. It's just something that I have to get off my chest. That the things that happen today, as far as, and I don't talk about things like this a lot, only when I feel like there's a need for me to get something off my chest. And the only thing I wanted to say was with what was handed down as far as Breonna Taylor, them not charging the officers with murder, at least manslaughter, the first degree. I mean, that as a minimum, it really sends a message. It should send a message to a lot of people. This is how you're looked at. No matter what happens, no matter what people say, they are telling you, to us, your life don't matter. Your black life don't matter. Um, and you could. I just hope a lot of people don't get hurt behind this because I feel like a lot of people are going to try to use the excuse if you even try to protest peacefully. They're going to use this to. They're going to try to use this to further let you know that you don't matter. I hope nobody gets hurt or lives are not lost and they're upset because it's a great big slap in the family's face. It's a slap in this country's face. But even the leader, and I don't like saying his name, even the leader has let us know that we don't matter. So if the so-called leader of this country don't think much of us, then that's going to give, in my opinion, the hate groups carte blanche to do what they want to do to you know these hate groups are alive and well, and in my opinion, many are in the police force. Members of hate groups, you cannot tell me that they have not, just like predators, they get occupations that whatever whoever their victims are, they try to get occupations so they can get out they're who are they who they're preying on. And the same thing with a lot of the police. I believe, not all, I believe a lot of police decided to be police so they can do what they're doing. And that's my opinion. So basically, I didn't want to put that as a title to the live. I don't want no clickbait. I don't want people coming in just for, a few moments of drama. And then when you have something other than something like this, but as in, uh, it's important also that you don't see them around. So, that's not what I want to do, but I'm glad that people will replay this. I'm going to put the timestamp on it, so because there's a lot of silence, and if people want to, turn this into a silent live, that's okay too. Because the watch hours, it's I'll take them. But even if I just had to get that out of my system. Um, I say a prayer for the people that's going out there to just, show that they're angry. And then I'm not saying, a peaceful protesting because, like I say, certain people are looking for them to, quote unquote, step out of line for anything so they can do what they set out to do. Um, but I don't want them to be hurt because, like I said, a lot of people don't care about your black life. They don't care about your black life. They joined the police force so they can tell you and show you how much they don't care about your black life. But whether they care or not, whatever they say or do, our black lives do matter. It matters. Hey, Miss TR, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. You feel better? Cause I know when you left the other day, it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, even though I couldn't see you, I sensed. I know she not, chills and fever and all that. I sensed that you were not feeling good at all. So I hope you feel better. I'm glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. Hey Shay, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shay. I was just talking about, I just had to say something, and I was just talking about Breonna Taylor. You know, no charges is going to be, no charges is they're not going to be charged with anything. And then the one officer, and I use that term loosely, um, you know, criminal in my opinion. He'll be charged with, I forgot exactly what it was, but in essence is putting, and that might be the actual charge, but putting the neighbor in harm by, shots was fired in the neighbor's house of Breonna Taylor. Um, and many say that they don't see him even being convicted of that. So that was one of the things that I was just going to bring up today. Yes, my stomach hurts to hear that about the verdict. Right. And like I was saying earlier, our Black Lives Matter, but they're trying to tell us no, 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 they don't. I mean, I beg to differ, but in essence, that sent a strong message out that, You can say it matters, but we say we don't care. But those officers, are a lot of officers, they joined the force, in my opinion. They joined the force so they can have that little bit of power. And I believe that a lot of them are in organized hate groups. That's my belief. That's my belief. That's my opinion. And so what they do nowadays, instead of putting a white hood over their head looking like the dunce that they are, in my opinion, they join the police force because they can do what they're going to do and get away with it. Miss Tiara said, I ended up in the ER. Oh, I ended up in the ER. Signs of flu. CAT scan said UTI on antibiotics and waiting for a C test. Okay, okay. I prayed for you. I prayed for you. I prayed on live, and like I say, when I tell people I'm gonna pray for them, I pray for them. Shay said yes. My stomach hurts to hear that about. Okay, I read that. Yeah. So another part of what I want to talk about, because to me, guys, I don't know how you guys feel, but I didn't want to just stay on the topic. Although it needs to be discussed, it needs to be out there, but I didn't want this whole live to be about Breonna Taylor, guys, because it makes me angry. They say your stomach hurt. Yeah, it's like you got built, and I'm talking about me, built up anger in me because if you experienced anything, and then you can look at certain things and you can say that could have been me. That could have been me laying in my bed, minding my business, trying to get some sleep, probably trying to get ready for the next day of work or whatever I had to do. That could have been me. It could have been my, you know, it could have been somebody I know personally. And because we didn't know her, don't mean that we don't feel for her and the family. Don't mean that we can't have empathy for her and just feel bad about it because we do. So, but another thing, it was sort of like a story time. I wanted to switch over a little bit, and in no indication am I including what's happening in this story time. It was just something I was going to do until I heard, the verdict. Um, we had touched on it a little bit in this live a few days ago, and we were talking about toxic family members. And I was telling people about Denise Dawson. Denise is a channel, and he pretty much exposes people who so-called pastors, doing their dirty work and whatever. And he has lots of stories. And we were just kind of, he had a live, and I was telling people about the things he was saying, as far as having toxic family members. Well, I was going to, you know, present the question: have you guys ever had a family member that you have not done anything to? They have actually done things to you, and because you call them on it, they mad because you called them on it. And they telling different family members this and that, embellishing the story, but they're not telling you know, they parted in the wrong they did, because actually the story I'm getting ready to tell you guys is my only crime was I was there. If I hadn't showed up, it wouldn't have happened. But let me just tell you this quick story because I'm not going to be on very long, and I know I say that. Okay, Brian is telling Miss TR that prayers are going out to her. Thank you, Grind. But okay, about this toxic family member. Okay, there was me and another family member. Our birthday fall within a few days of each other in October. So the family member's daughter gave a birthday party. Now it was for her dad, but then her dad said, "Yeah, let's me and you celebrate it together." I said, "Okay, that'll be fine. That'll be good." I didn't have nothing planned for my birthday, so yeah, that'll be perfect. So anyway, we went to this really nice spot. They had jazz musicians there, really good danceable jazz, you know. And on one side, on one side it was like you go up a little stairs, and that's where people had their birthday parties, whatever. It had seating up there, what have you. So anyway, I had this was a while back. I had gotten a bottle of champagne, and so I was sharing it with some of the people, whatever. And then and we're sharing with the people. I had a glass full, but I wanted something else. And so I ordered something else, and I went over there and went over and sat down. And let me just mention, I was running a tab because I had been there. The people, kind of knew me. I hate to say it, but it's almost like I wasn't quite a regular, but I went there. I went there enough times. So anyway, I'm sitting by myself, just listening to the jazz, and the relative and his daughter was on the other side. So the guy I was dating, he came. I invited him, and after about a half an hour or so, he came. He saw me. He sat down, saw that I had a drink, and said, "Okay," because he knew that I had opened a tab. That's how we did. So he says, "I'm here now. You can close your tabs." I said, "Okay." So we sitting there talking. So I fled the waitress over, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna close my tab right now." And so she said, "That lady over there, she closed your tab." So she was talking about the member's daughter. She said she already closed your tab. And so I'm looking at her. I said, "Well, how can somebody else close my tab?" So I'm still like, what's going on? So at this point, I didn't know the daughter of the guy, family member. I I didn't realize exactly who she was, but let me tell you later. I found out real quick, what kind of person she was. I didn't see the con artist in her, but hold on, it's coming. So anyway, I the Monday afterwards, because we did all this on a Saturday. The Monday afterwards, okay, no, it wasn't. It's probably later on in that work week. I go online because this was something I did. I go online and check my balance for I had written checks, paying all my bills and everything. Guys, my checks were bouncing up and down because I didn't use a credit card when I used my debit card to to pay the bill. But my checks were bouncing up and down. So I'm just didn't know what was going on. And so I'm telling them, I don't know what you're talking about. I have plenty enough to pay my bills and have money left over. My checks cannot be bouncing like that. So I called my friend that was there and I was telling him what's happening. He said, "What?" I said, they're gonna get back to me because I told them it is no way my checks should be bouncing. I don't have bounce checks. So he said, "Okay, let me know." Because I was saying, I can't pay this, I can't pay that, and oh my gosh. So he said, "Well, don't worry about it. Check and see what's going on. And if they can't straighten it out, I got you. I'll give you the." He didn't say borrow because he wasn't that type of guy. He said, "I'll give you, what you need." So I was still like up in arms, like, what's going on? My bank got back to me and told me that they contacted the place where all the checks was coming from. Two rooms. I didn't say this. The restaurant, the jazz place, it was in a hotel setting. That person had put two rooms on my tab, on my account, all the food, the rental for that part of the place so we can have the birthday party. Everything on that birthday party was put on my account. Oh, and I guess you can tell right now because the family member's daughter, of course, she's my relative too, and I don't want to say right now because one day I'll blast her, but this ain't the day, and not on social media. But well, I have blasted her. But anyway, uh, when the waitress went over, and I guess to see if she wanted anyone to drink. And mind you, all their drinks and everything was on compliments of me. That's when she told the waitress, to, put everything. I got two rooms here, all this, whatever. I want to put this on the card. Now the waitress is at fault because what, unless she had another waitress, but usually the waitress have a little area and they take care of the area. I'm not really sure. But the waitress should have never let somebody else and then had to know, oh, this lady right there, she closed your cab, and she might not have thought anything because our last names were the same. That's how close a relative it was. Our last names were the same, but that don't matter. And that's probably what it boiled down to because she had no right, and I probably should have sued the hotel, but I got my money back, and it was just so much on my plate. I didn't even talk to a lot of, that caused me emotional stress, you know. So this family member's daughter put all the expenses of everything on my bill. So I didn't see this person for a while. We got it straightened out or whatever. And I called my friend. I said, "Well, no, we got it straightened out. And because, see, he would have never known. But because I was straight with him, guys, he was a generous type of person anyway. And it wasn't nothing that he wouldn't do. He had a business trip going to Vegas, and he gave me a blank check saying, "I know you're gonna need you weren't planning on this trip. I know you might need some things and want some things. Just take this money." I said, "You trust me like that? Cause you know what? I can buy me a house now." Okay, don't give me no blank check. I can buy me a house. At least a good down payment to a nice house. He said, well, if you do, just let me know so I can transfer some funds. I was, oh, okay. But I know I'm not that kind of person, so I didn't. And that's why he trusted me with a blank check. He knew I wouldn't go crazy. All I wrote that blank check was for $300. I figured that was fair because I knew he was going to, at that time I gambled, so I knew he was going to give me gambling money. And that's why I pays guy to be upfront with people. There's ways sometimes you can get over on people. They'll never find out. Yeah, and God knows. But anyway, back to the con artist, the con woman. I didn't see her for a while after that. When I did see her, I let her know. I know you did it. You had to do it because why would anybody else paid up everything. I mean, it's obvious. Yeah, I don't even know why there's a discussion about this because you did it. And I just want to know why would you do something like that? See, and guys, that's when I start checking. I found out that she had put an apartment in my name, her apartment. I found out a whole lot of stuff that she had used my name for, and thank God she paid. She didn't get evicted because I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they. Some people they'll check out, and you can't get away with stuff like that. And then some people, and she might have been in cahoots with those people. Who knows that she didn't know the apartment manager, and she gave her some bogus information, and they didn't care. And I don't know. But I didn't find out about the things that she done in my name that I didn't know about to the check thing. So because I checked her on it, then she got an attitude like I busted her for taking my identity, using my card to pay for the party, but she mad at me. Guys, can you imagine? I mean, I didn't beat her up because other family members, you know, I didn't want to make it bigger than what it was. So I didn't beat her up. And those were the days that, yeah, I would have put hands on somebody. I'm gonna be honest. Nowadays, um, I got other things to protect me. But I was the type that, yeah, like my mother used to say, yeah, I would turn you every way but a loose. But I didn't do that because of the because it was family, and then other people would have been brought in, and people from my side and people from her side, and I mean it just would have been turned out bigger. It was big enough, and it just would have turned out bigger than what it was. But see, and I'm gonna tell you about this family member. I am surprised she ain't serving some time because she been a con person. That didn't stop her when people were. I forget what when it was. People were the real estate market kind of, you know, people were losing their houses, and I just heard this, and I believe it to be true because when somebody show you who they are, oh yes, she showed me, and I believed her. She's a con woman. But when people were losing their houses and certain agencies with certain organizations, certain companies was coming in and, we'll stop the foreclosure. She was working for that kind of company. And so she found a way to set herself apart from that company And she started doing it. Now she didn't know how to help people and stop foreclosures on it. She was saying, "Send me this and send me that, and I'll stop." She wasn't doing nothing for those people. In other words, they were sending her money, and I know a lot of people lost their homes behind her shenanigans. And so, when I say she a crook, she a crook. She has taken people money, and like I said, I know that some of people lost their homes. And she has done other things. I can't prove them, but people have told me, and because of the what she did to me, I said, yeah, she did it. She did it. I don't even have to put alleged on there. She did it. But then to turn it around on me, like, oh, I can't stand her cause I busted you. So that's part of, that's my story time. And that's part of staying away from toxic people because that could have caused me, I mean, that could have put me in a position that I would be in financial problems for years to come. Because people like that don't care. They only care about what they got going on. They only care about the money. They'll do the crime. They don't want to do the time, but they'll do the crime because it's some money in it. But guys, I have a feeling. I may not do it on YouTube. I don't know. I might, but I have a feeling that if she has continued with her shenanigans, and I think she has, that I'm going to hear from somebody else that she's serving time. And maybe it'll be another story time. I didn't call no names. I didn't even tell you guys what relationship she is. But I'm just talking about watch family members. You want to believe, oh, family wouldn't do that to me. Now, before that, she wasn't someone that I was always in contact with. So a lot of stuff she did, I wasn't around to see it. So before that, it's like maybe I would have questioned if somebody came to me and say, such and such and did that. I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But see, anything that anybody tell me about this chick, I will believe it because you know how much two hotel rooms cost. You know what? Okay, in the party and all the food, it was a lot of food. I would say at least 30 people. It was buffet style. I would say about 30 people was at that party. So you know what kind of food you got. And then there was a huge cake. And then she was buying drinks like it wasn't no tomorrow. Yeah, it wasn't no tomorrow for, that she had to pay for because it was all going on my bill. And then the bottle of champagne, what I bought for people to celebrate with. I mean, all of that was on my card. And so, when the bank got back to me, they said, "Oh, this is the place," and then the whole thing, before they even start telling me what they found out, the whole thing start come. Oh yeah, she the one that told the waitress, "Oh, you know, to close out my bill." That in itself is raggedy. So, she ran her mouth because I exposed her. She turned it around like I accused her of this, that, and the other, and just. And I was just too done. And anybody that was co-signing for her, knowing the kind of raggedy stuff she doing, it's like I cut them loose too. Like, I have worked all hard all my life. I never stole nothing from nobody. Here you entertaining a thief lately. Even her dad said she was a con artist because she had conned him out of things. So it's like, you know, it was just, and like I said, people deal with people because they're blood, because they're family. But sometimes, guys, family will do you. They will do you worse than a stranger in the street. Not saying everybody's family, but I'm sure most of you can think of a family members. Yep, Marilyn. Yep, I stay away from them because they don't mean me no good. I know, but I got stories of toxic family shenanigans, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but the only reason it's fresh in my mind is because I was looking at I ran across in my recommendations again with this Dawson Denise guy. He's got two channel, Dawson Speaks TV and Dawson Denise. I ran across that uh, uh, across his channel. So that kind of triggered, and I said, okay, okay, I'm gonna that I want to discuss this story with people in my life. So I hope everybody heard that because I'm looking at my little avatar and the audio seems to be. It'll be funny if I had spilled all that and and my Wi-Fi is out. No, that wouldn't be funny. But yeah, I just wanted to tell that, and hopefully, you know, most of everybody's family is cool, caring, you know, and supportive. But I think a lot of us have those type of family, and so it's like, okay, with family like that, whew, sometimes you wish you were adopted, you know. But I'm sure that would be another set of problems. But guys, I hit the hour mark. I thank you guys for listening, for showing up for my live. I got a couple of things off my chest that I want to talk about. Number one, the Breonna Taylor verdict. So I'm going to end it there. Everyone have a beautiful evening. Take care. Be safe. Miss TR, I'm just hoping that I'm praying that that C test comes out, in your favor, a negative outcome. And anyone that needs prayer, I'm just going to pray for everyone that was in this group and for those who are in the bushes. And I had told myself that months ago that I was going to do that, whether I tell people that or not, to just keep people, because you never know what's going on with people. So I told myself I would do that just in case. So, anyway, thank you guys. Have a great evening. I'm going to end this broadcast. and I put out a video. I made a Hello Fresh meal. You guys check that out. And I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great night, guys. Good night.